So today you're going to learn how to make pomme puree. So let's get started. So have you ever wondered how to make smooth, silky mashed potatoes? Well, friend, you've come to the right channel. Today I'm going to be sharing with you my ultimate pomme puree recipe, which you can use as a side dish. When working in Japan at a 2 Michelin star restaurant called Zuriola, this is one of the components we had on the menu for a quail dish. And at the end of this video, I'm going to be showing you 3 cool different plating techniques that you can use at your next dinner party. So make sure you watch until the end for that. And without further ado, let's begin. So we're going to begin with some nice Yukon Gold potatoes. And we're just going to start peeling them. Now once they're all nice and peeled, we're going to cut them into cubes. And just try your best to make sure that they're all uniform and roughly the same size. Now that our Yukon Golds are cut to size, we can begin by adding this to a pot. Next, we're going to add some cold water to these potatoes to cover. Add a pinch of salt. Next, we're going to begin preparing the aromatics for our flavored cream. So with about 3 cloves of garlic and a few sprigs of thyme. With a paring knife, you want to look for the root end of the garlic and slice that off while peeling back the skin. And another method to remove the skin is to place the base of your knife onto the clove and smash it like so. And the skin should easily peel right off. Now we're going to bring our potatoes up to a simmer for about 5 to 10 minutes. And to test their doneness, we're going to take a paring knife and we're going to puncture it inside the center of the potato. And if it slides off the knife easily, then it's done. Next, we're going to strain our potatoes. And in that same strainer over a bowl, I'm going to push the potatoes through with the back of a spoon. If you have a potato ricer, then definitely go with that. And this part is imperative in order to get that smooth mashed potato that we're looking for. Now once all our potatoes are passed through, it should look like this, and we're going to keep it inside this bowl. Next, you're going to take a small saucepan and you're going to add a tablespoon of unsalted butter. Melt that through. And then we're going to add that to our potatoes. Now next we're going to fold this in just to make sure it's all incorporated. In that same saucepan, you want to add about 1/4 of a cup to half a cup of full fat cream. And then we're going to add our garlic and our thyme. And just heat this through and bring it to a light simmer. And then we're going to switch the heat off and let this infuse for about 10 minutes. Next, we'll strain our infused cream into our potatoes. And we're going to start folding this in using the Macronage technique. And the Macronage technique is the same technique you use when making macarons. Now the way to do the Macronage technique is to rotate your spatula around the bowl and then sweep your spatula along the center. Next, we're going to season with some salt and continue the Macronage. And this technique is going to allow us to have a nice and smooth potato puree. So once again, around and underneath the puree, and then across the center. And lastly, a little dollop of Dijon mustard, and this is going to ensure that our pomme puree is well balanced. And again, the Macronage technique to fold in that Dijon mustard. And then we're going to give it a taste to test for seasoning. And this was so good that I needed to confirm once again. Next, I'm going to show you 3 different plating techniques for this pomme puree. Now the first is a quenelle, which you're going to take 2 identical spoons. And you're going to pass the puree between these spoons like so, in order to make a beautifully formed dollop. And you could put a nice slice of prime rib around this, or some veg and a sauce, and you have a nicely presented plate. And this nice sharp top edge is what we're looking for. Now the next technique is family style. It's very rustic. It's just putting the potato puree into the bowl and making a well. And within this well, you can put a ton of gravy for people to share around the table. Now the next technique is probably the fanciest. This would be putting the puree in a pastry bag with a piping tip and piping in a crescent shape around the edge of the bowl. And beside this, I can put a nice portion of meat with some veg around, and then a beautiful sauce in the center connecting the two. So that is it. Smooth, silky, tasty mashed potatoes that are not only rich and luxurious, but well balanced on the palate. And remember to always taste as you're seasoning in order to acclimate your palate and improve its perception on properly seasoned food. Lastly, if you want to improve your cooking, learn the science of what's happening in your pan or your oven, and much more, then definitely consider subscribing. I hope you all have a wonderful day or night if you're watching random cooking videos before bed. And until next time, keep on cooking.